Welcome back. In this lecture, I'll be dealing with sets and relations and how did be related with our real life examples. Also, we have to move on the special relations like partial ordering and totally ordering and how to represent them in Hasse diagram. Yes, in our day to day life, we often talk about the collection of objects such as a set of vowels, set of negative numbers, a group of friends, a list of fruits, a bunch of keys, etc. So, what is set actually in mathematics? The collection of well defined distinct objects is known as a set. Here, the word well defined refers to a specific property which makes it easy to identify whether the given object belongs to the set or not. And the word distinct means that the object of a set must be all different. The different objects that form a set are called the elements of a set. So, the elements of the set are written in any order but are not repeated. From these figures, we know that the pernet of strawberries is nothing but a set, and a strawberry is contained in that pernet or its elements. So, except strawberry, nothing could be a member of that pernet of strawberries. Here, for another example, on a weekend, some children are playing in a seashore. Here, it's my query that the set of all beautiful children playing in a seashore is a set or not. Strictly no, because the beautiful children is not well defined here. And we all know that the sets are denoted as capital letters and the elements in the set are denoted as small letters. For example, if X be a set which contains an element A, then we say that A belongs to X. Suppose X doesn't contain the element A, then we say that A does not belongs to X. Yes, once we know that the notion of the set, we can operate them like difference and addition between two sets, union and intersection between more than two sets, etc. Can we able to product two sets? Yes, of course, we can able to product two sets, which leads us to form a new set, namely Cartesian product of two sets. Let A and B be any two non-empty sets. Now, we define a Cartesian product between them as the set of all ordered pairs A, B such that the first coordinate A belongs to the first set A and the second coordinate B belongs to the second set B. And this is again a set and the elements are in the set are in the form of ordered pairs. And now we have to study the connection between the ordered pairs in the name of relation. So, relation is nothing but a subset of our Cartesian product which express the bond between the ordered pairs. That bond or link is known as relation. Now, we're gonna study this notion through this example. In a school, the teacher has some students' name list in both class 1 and 2. And clearly, this is a set and it is named as n. Now we have to write the Cartesian product of this set, and before we going to write this, we note that the students A, B, C, D and G are in class 1 and the rest of the students in N are E and F, both are in class 2. And now we can easily write the Cartesian product of this set N into itself as shown in this slide. Here the first element of this set is ordered pair of A, A. Here the first coordinate A belongs to the set N, also the second coordinate A belongs to the set N. Similarly, the second element of this set is ordered pair of A, B. Here the first coordinate A belongs to the set N and the second coordinate B belongs to the second set N. Here our first and second set both are same, that is N. As this way, the rest of the elements are in that set are formed. Next, we can define a relation with this set, that is classmates. Here the set relation labeled it as R. The formation of this set is also very easy. Here the student A is a classmate of himself and the student B is a classmate of herself. Similarly, every student of this class 1 is classmate of itself. So, the set R contains an ordered pairs A, A, B, B, C, C, D, D and G, G. Also in class 2, E and F are classmate of itself. So, E, and F are also belongs to the set R. And in class 1, the student A is a classmate of B, C, D and G. So, the ordered pairs A, B, A, C, A, D and A, G are also belongs to the set R. Similarly, the student B is also a classmate of A, C, D and G. So, the ordered pairs B, A, B, C, B, D and B, G are also lies in the set R. So, the remaining members are as this way. And we know that each member in R is also a member in Cartesian product of n cross n, because R is a subset of n cross n. And now we're going to study some special relations. The first one is equivalence relation. When we say that the relation is equivalence relation, because if the relation defined on a set S which satisfies some properties such as reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Now we're going to study these properties one by previous example. Yes, clearly in this example the relation R is reflexive. Since each student is classmate of itself, that is A which is related to itself for all A in N. Next, we have to check that R is symmetric. If the student A is classmate of B, then also B is a classmate of A. That is, A is related to B, which implies B is related to A. So, this is obviously symmetric. Next, transitive. If A is a classmate of B and B is a classmate of C, then A is also a classmate of C. That is, A which is related to B and B which is related to C, which implies A is related to C. So, it's transitive also. Thus, the relation defined on a set N is an equivalence relation. And the second special relation is partial order relation. If a relation defined on a set S which satisfies some properties such as reflexive, antisymmetric and transitive, then we say that the relation is a partial order relation. Here we already know that what is reflexive and transitive. And here antisymmetric is new to us, which is nothing but the opposite of symmetric property, which means that if A is related to B but B is not related to A, or in other words A which is related to B and B which is related to A, then both are equal. So, this partial order relation defined on a set, then which set is called as partially ordered set or a poset. Now we have to study some special characterizations of poset. If two elements A and B are in the poset are said to be comparable if either A is related to B or B is related to A. And another special relation is linearly ordered relation or a totally ordered relation. Here the partial order relation on a set in which every two elements are comparable, that relation is called as linearly ordered or totally ordered relation. A set with that relation is called as linearly ordered set or totally ordered set or chain. Let's take an example for understand this. Here we have the set people x, y, z and the relation we defining in it not tall. And here x is not taller than y and then z. Now we have to check this relation P from a partial order. The first one is reflexive. Here the people x is not taller than y. Is it right? Yes, it's given. And the second one is antisymmetric, and here the people x is not taller than y, and it's obvious that y is taller than x. Therefore, R is antisymmetric. And what about transitive? The people x is not taller than y and y is not taller than some a, and this is obviously becomes x is not taller than a. So this relation R is a partial order relation. Next, we can draw the graph for this partial ordering with the element or in the set as nodes and the relation R as edges. From the reflexive property, each node will have loop. But we just ignore that. And we know that the relations between x and y and x and z, we can draw the line between them. And we do not put any arrow because we already know that the relation is from bottom to top. Therefore, the relation x is not taller than y. Similarly, x is not taller than z. So, and this way of representation is known as Hasse diagram. We have to draw the Hasse diagram for this set P, 2, 4, 6 and 8. And the relation defining in it is A, which is less than or equal to B. And in this Hasse diagram, 2, which is an base element, and 2 is the first node. So 2, which is less than 4, and 4 is less than 6, and 6, which is less than 8. Clearly, this is a poset. And here the nodes are in the sequence, and there is one speciality for this. We see that every two elements can be compared. So, if I take 2 and 6, we can compare. That is, 2 is obviously less than 6. And if I take 4 and 8, 4 is less than 8. So, in a partial order relation, every two elements can be compared. Then that order is known as totally order or linearly order, and the set with that order relation is known as chain. Let's take another example. Here we have the set P, that 3, 6, 18, 24 and 72. And we define a relation such that A is a factor of B. And clearly the relation R is a partial ordering relation and the set P is a poset. So let's try to draw the Hasse diagram for this. The nodes are plotted here. We know that 3 is the first node, so 3 is a base element. Now we have to compare to 6. 3, which is the factor of 6. So we can draw the line between them. Now 6 is a base element and 6 is a factor of 18. So we can draw the line. And 18 is a base element. Now we compare it to 24. But 18 is not a factor of 24. So whenever we can't compare, we need to move on one level back. So here 6 is a base element and 6 is a factor of 24. So we draw the line between 6 and 24. So here we have two base elements that are 24 and 18. 18 is also a factor of 72 and 24 is also a factor of 72. So we can draw the remaining lines. Now this is a Hasse diagram for this partial order. But here all the other elements except 24 and 18 are all comparable. But 18 and 24 are not comparable. So it's not form a total order relation or a linear order relation. Set P does not become a total order set or linearly ordered set or a chain. Now we have to study the special characterizations of elements in a poset. So least element in a poset is nothing but the element which is less than or equal to all the other elements in a poset. And the greatest element in a poset is the greatest element which is greater than or equal to all the other elements in a poset. And now we have to study the interesting concept, that is boundedness. For speaking boundedness, which means that bound for a set, not for an element. And now we have to define upper bound and lower bound of a set A, which is a subset of a poset P. And there exists an element U in P such that if U, which is greater than or equal to all the elements of A, then that element U is an upper bound of A. Similarly, if there exists an element L in P is such that if L is less than or equal to all the other elements are in A, then that L is called lower bound of A. And least upper bound and greatest lower bound are the special criteria for upper bound and lower bound respectively. So, when we say that an element U in P is an least upper bound, if we can't find any other upper bound which is greater than U. Similarly, when we say that an element L in P which is greatest lower bound of A, if we can't find any other lower bound which is less than L. Let's take a previous example for understanding this. We already know that this relation R is a partial order relation and also a totally ordered relation, and the set P is a poset and also the totally ordered set or a chain. Here we have to find the least element and greatest element and boundedness. From the Hussey diagram, we have to easily find them. Here the bottom node is 2, that is least element, and the upper node is 8, that is greatest element. And now we have to find the upper bounds and lower bounds and also greatest lower bound and least upper bound. So we need a subset of a poset. Here I take a subset A, 2 and 4. So from the Hussey diagram, we have to find the upper bound that are 4, 6 and 8. And this upper bound we have to find the least one, that is 4. And also find the lower bounds 2 and 4, and the greatest one is 4. I hope you understand which I dealt here. So friends, I'll give some task for you. That is, can we find the poset which does not have both greatest element and least element? So let's think and comment your answer. Thank you for watching.